So, did you know what was happening, or was this bizarre? How did you know? How did you know that what you just said happened? Were you confused, or you know?
Because of their, I knew the truth of it because of how profoundly deep I was knowing from.
Right.
The experience was that of an extremely delicate oneness with everything in and everything without, and a recognition and a clarity of realness that surpassed anything that I had ever thought of or heard or imagined, and it was satisfying, not just profoundly, but right to the core.
Right. Excellent.
It satisfied every level of being able to know within.
And you share this experience with others and want others to experience this. Is that right?
At first, I didn't share it with others because it was inconceivable to me that others would be relating to what I had just gone through. So I kept quiet about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I just went about living as I was living before. But now I knew that I was not the same anymore. People recognized the change and couldn't understand what the change came from. They just really liked what they were seeing.
How did you change?
It's just much cleaner, much clearer in my personality, in myself, having much more direct communication with people, being much more at ease within, and having an ability to move in ways socially and mentally and emotionally that I didn't have before.
Right.
So it was moving into a different level of self, or a higher use of self that I wouldn't have had without such an opening, and then walking within that new kind of awareness.
And this is just not just. Just is the wrong word, but this is something which happened. It wasn't a lie. It wasn't a feeling. It wasn't a physical experience. It's something which just came across.
It's really all of the above.
Okay.
But even as a physical experience, it's a different level of sensation than what I was accustomed to at any time before. It's the level of physical sensation is a very deep level of delicateness and the delicacies of actually experiencing in such a fine way within the body what is recognized as being real and true, that is so deeply moving in the heart and in the mind.
Right. Very interesting.
Whatever you are at present within your body as awareness, there is going to be sensation to that just by virtue of being in a body.
Right. So there's a quote again where it says, "Absolute surrender within through openness and softness of heart, and unfailingly releases the false and leaves behind just the truth." What does that mean?
The absolute surrender is really, first of all, recognizing that there's something known within and surrendering into knowing the truth of that. Even if what the knowledge is of within is that you don't know anything. To surrender to knowing that then takes you out of having to relate to a kind of self that relates mostly to just things outside. As soon as you move into that surrender to knowing how much you don't know, that puts you in sync with being able to move within.
Right. Okay. Very interesting. And you're talking in Bristol, is that right?
I'll be in Bristol Yes, this coming weekend.
This coming weekend, so from Thursday, April the 15th, till Sunday, April the 18th, and that's at the Winston Theatre, the Bristol University, and I know that it's in Clifton on Queen's Road. Yeah, it's really nice up there, actually. And it was 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. meetings.
2 p.m., yes, that's right, in the afternoon and 7 in the evening.
Excellent. Now, I don't know what time you've got. If you could just stay on for 5 minutes, I've just got to play a track, and I've got some words here that have been sent to me, which I found very interesting, which you've got, not your take on them, but feelings or a reaction to those words. And this is Lyrical Minded. So I wanted to just ask you a few of those words, and you just tell me a reaction to those words. Have you got time to do that?
Yes.
Great. If you just hold on, I'm just going to play a track, which is called Hold On by 4Hero.
I might have a hard time hearing because as you speak, it's quite faint for me.
Okay. It's not very clear?
Not very clear, no.
Oh, okay. Is that better?
That's better, yes.
All right. I'm turning it up a bit. My volume here is so loud to you, so I've tried to compensate by turning mine down, but I'll come back up. All right. So I'll come back to you in about 2 minutes. All right, John?
2 minutes, sure.
Yeah, this is Milo, and this is Lyrical Minded. Still, honestly, it is, I promise you. And we've got in the studio, no, not in the studio. Yeah, well, it is. All right, we have got on the show. He's not in the studio. He's actually in Canada, and John Ruiter. And I'll ask him again if I pronounce that name. John, I always get names wrong. I shouldn't say that. I should ask him this actually. I stop getting names wrong. I'm sure he'd have a concept on that. But yeah, no, I've been talking to him about his concept and philosophy, and I've read what I call a poem from his book, Unveiling Reality. And John DeRuta is going to be talking this weekend at the Students' Union, and I'm just asking him, what is he going to be talking about? And this is deep stuff. This is the stuff of writing. This is the stuff of poems and songs and late nights scratching away and stories and life, I suppose, and life. So I'm going to ask John, because he's got a reaction to certain words, and I'm going to ask him about that and see how he reacts to those words and what he says. I hope he's still there. I hope he's still got. Hello, John.
Hello, Miles.
Excellent.
Is it Miles or Milo?
John, you can call me Milo or Miles. It's actually, my name is Miles, but my nickname is Milo, and it's Milo on the show. Yeah.
Okay, I'll call you Milo then.
That was very astute. Did you hear that jingle then?
Not really, no.
Okay, that's brilliant. Have I pronounced your name right?
The Ruiter.
The Ruiter. Okay. Is that Dutch or?
That's Dutch, yes.
Right. That's where you're from.
Yes.
Okay, brilliant. And we've been talking about your philosophy and concept. Very interesting. You know, it's a type of stuff where you have to think about everything you say for at least 10 minutes before you go on to the next sentence. But John, listen, I've got some words here, and I just wanted to say them to you and see how you react. Is that all right?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay. Okayness.
Okayness is something that's fundamental to being settled into your interior. Okayness lets you drop beneath all of your problems. It drops beneath your persona, has you dropping beneath every issue that you're relating to as a self to things outside of yourself. And okayness leaves you with a very basic yet deep restedness in the heart.
All right. Excellent. Okay. And real knowledge.
Real knowledge would be that you actually know the truth of within yourself. There's a lot of assumed knowledge and learned knowledge, adopted knowledge, but how much real knowledge is actually there is easily found out to be very little. What you really know the truth of within of something that matters on a profound level would be real knowledge.
And how can you be sure that you're right about what you say you know?
You would know the truth of it because there's a profound resonance to it, first of all.
Resonance.
And also because you would know the truth of it from within your own experience. You know the effect of when there's an application of real knowledge within, or something that you really know the truth of in your heart. As soon as you're surrendering to that and responding to that, it opens up everything else that's beneath that.
Okay.
It has the most beautiful effect on one's whole interior.
In what sense? Interior, inside. Is that a feeling, or?
Well,
I'm grasping for evidence
that
as you can
accomplishes a
see.
healing because there's a congruency within of what you are as a self and what your interior is made of. There's a healing and there's a profound kind of nurture. There's a settling into what's experienced as something like nectar within. The entire effect on the interior is one of profound and very dear satisfaction.
Because I'm a Christian, so I'm coming from. I mean, this isn't actually a religious show; it's a word show. But I believe in the concept of Christianity and whatever they say, doing good and sharing and loving and.
I can't hear you right now.
Is that better?
That's better. Yeah.
Okay, I'm a Christian, so I believe in the concept of sharing and goodness and doing right to your fellow man and to yourself.
Yes.
Where does your philosophy fit into that?
It would be the same thing.
Same thing.
Yes.
Is there a God at the head of it? Are you the God, or I mean, are we the God, or what would you say about?
Well, I would say that even the word God is sort of too big a word to be using up front unless you really know the truth of something like that. And if you know the truth of what God is, then that's quite an enormous real knowledge to have. And it's easy to swing around such large words without really having full presence in it and knowing the truth of it.